Pastel Parade is a rhythm game where friendship is inevitable. This is a game about a group of preteen high schoolers becoming friends, but far from a coming-of-age story. Not even a slow burn, emotional journey about what it takes to build or grow a friendship with people you're just meeting for the first time. It's just, poof, you have a group of besties now. Just the raw summer-type days of participating in random activities around town with your pals, not even crossing your mind how you got together with these guys or why you're even doing it. Just look at how innocent this game begins. We focus on this reserved bookworm type named Nagisa after class, who suddenly gets approached by this chipper, pink-haired classmate of hers named Amane, who's all like, "Hey girl I just met, let's attend this sparkling soda spray festival at the cafe nearby." And before you can even process what the hell that is, and why you're spraying customers and staff and inanimate objects with ramen soda, you're caught up in the moment, sharing the spotlight side by side, seltzering to the beat. It's so strange yet catchy, it made me use seltzer as a verb, which means it's doing its job right as far as a cartoon rhythm game is concerned. Stepping into a crazy cartoon scene, but letting the beat of the moment and your co-star's lead make some cadence sense out of it. This is the kind of game that's very absorbed in getting to the good bits of a good time with good buds. Who cares about mutual interests or building social links to obtain minimum friendship status? Pastel Parade's core idea about friendship is that all it takes sometimes is simply chiming along, being happy to back up somebody's beat, pick up on and match their vibe. What else could you really ask for making a friend? Making for a minigame collection about a rapidly growing and timeless squad. Jumping back to back into more and more musical moments, and more friends joining in because your new friend has made friends with them, and their friend becomes your friends, and you got this quartet of friends all lined up, to a point where 2 months have passed, and you're already performing as a professional band at the last leg of a high school talent show. This is the 4th stage of the game 15 minutes in, by the way. I have a feeling I'm making this game come across as a little too sweet, too saccharine, too schmaltzy for some. Like a video game or music video adaptation of a stock photo of a group of best friends. And yeah, it kind of is that, but it's a kind of plastic perfect act that might charm you anyway because of how proudly it plays it. Just never letting go on its chummy, good feeling vibes. There's something oddly nostalgic about how perfectly it plays out. A cute little microcosm of what it's like to start high school, where you barely know any of the crazy people around you. Then in a blink of an eye, you're lined up with them in all sorts of wacky local get-togethers. Polaroid memories just piling and piling, no pauses for reflection necessary when you're lost in companionship. Speaking as an adult playing this game, who intimately knows how it feels to have to overthink how you find and make time with your friends, it honestly kind of moved me a little, going through this cute teenage throwback where pals and good times with them are just a minigame montage away. This game appropriately uses a classic Simon Says gameplay style to convey this, copying the beat map signatures of your friends, knowing what to do upon a specific cue, or simply being the 4th correspondent in their pitch-perfect wavelength. Nothing too new for the genre, which can be a little underwhelming for a cartoon rhythm game that normally makes room for crazy gameplay systems or control schemes. But the main hook here is just getting a gorgeous-looking cartoon game and a cute story mode that follows a consistent cast. This is a minigame compilation that doesn't change up characters or universes per game, but focuses on following the same gang, cherishing your time, doing stuff rhythmically with the regulars. So it's fun to follow their bond as a roller coaster ride, as their hijinks takes them from the town to the beach to a mysterious island, all the way to outer space. I do think one missed opportunity is to have a focal character between the 4. Minigames will often set your playable avatar as a random cast member between the 4, but I kind of think it would have fit better if it followed either Amane or Nagisa's point of view, focus the story and dialogue from either the main introvert or extrovert of the group to get their thoughts and growth in gameplay over opting into this sudden friendship. As it stands, the game focuses on grab-bag variety, where a character focus is only done close to the end of the game. And this works out fine enough. You still get this unrelenting and optimistic vibe of belonging in a team hangout regardless of who you're playing as. And I'll just come forward and say that this is straight up one of the best looking cartoon rhythm games I've played in a very long time. It's like a visual novel CG turned into a cartoon music game. I just can't get enough of this. What about the gameplay itself? Well, it's pretty fun to enact, with snappy feedback to your inputs and mostly readable signals and cues. I think the game works best for stuff like village dancing, rocking out, or bonfire cookouts, and of course the damn ramen spraying. Very patient and clear copycat or follow the leader rules, making them chill to follow and fun to perfect. Probably the game's best minigame is the band performance. The riffs and transitions, while very specific and complicated, are very clearly defined, and you know exactly how you gotta react. No tricks necessary to make you slip up. That said, the game falls short in its variety and challenge. Not that it's insanely hard or doesn't have much variety, but that management of the two feels a bit thinly spread. A handful of minigames that aren't very exciting music or concept-wise, trying to sell on charm alone of doing stuff rhythmically with your friends, when actually what you're doing isn't very interesting or exciting. Some where the sound feedback is just not very good, and a couple of curveballs that feel a little too sneaky and insidious for this kind of game. Mostly coming from the tempo-focused rhythm games, where cues could come at any frequency. Those feel a little dirty to me. Just doesn't really compute with me to have sneaky, cheeky cues for this main campaign where you're trying to cooperate with these newly made friends. That kind of challenge makes more sense to me as a post-game challenge after the honeymoon phase. And this game does feature alternate remixes for most of the core playlist when you've beaten the game once, where the challenge fits a lot better now that you've grown accustomed to the game and its cast. At its core though, I would have made more of those grander, weirder, and just generally more original scenarios, and less on revisits of previous minigames, which unfortunately take up a good chunk of the content on offer here. They are different beat maps that are fun to play, fit the theme of their revisits, and do cut down on tutorial time, but can put a dent on the game's overall creativity. Like, all 4 locales you visit have a ramen spraying festival, even in outer space. This last world has only one original minigame, with the rest being rehashes of older minigames. I'm not purely against the idea of revisits. I do like the idea that sequel minigames could pop up at different points of the campaign, but they hog the runtime a little too much, I think. Speaking on challenge, I could actually make the argument that Pastel Parade is way more hardcore than most rhythm games of its kind, thanks to its platinum medals. Getting every button press correct, but also getting them at frame-perfect timing. Not good or great, but exactly perfect to max out your performance to 100%, which can be a pretty fun arcadey challenge to sink into replays. I'm still kind of itching to hunt more of these down. But most of the stuff is self-imposed, not really baked into the curriculum of the game. Playing it casually, this is a pretty forgiving game. Even making a couple of mistakes didn't set my score lower to anything less than 90 to even 95% I found. There's no mandatory campaign or reward based on getting platinums, outside of completion for the sake of it, which might not give a lot of incentive for players to want to train themselves to earn them. This game really needed something like a perfect campaign or skill stars, a la Rhythm Heaven, an advanced goal to push you to learn the exact measures of the game, rather than the hands-off approach it primarily takes to its challenge. Perhaps even be a bit more stingy on ranking players on specific moments of a minigame, rather than just averaging out all their button presses to a 100% total. Variety and challenge being thinly spread is going to be inevitable in just about every minigame compilation out there, but I do think what will stop Pastel Parade from having a loving shelf life is that there's never really any bite about earning your time with these friendos. You're always feeling included whenever you play this game, mistakes or otherwise, no real pushback here. Overall, I'd say it's a neutral charmer, with some duds and a few standout, absolutely wonderful moments that I deem cartoon rhythm game cinema, and I think I can live with that mostly. It's a nice comfort game to shelf and revisit once in a while when you're in need of a reliable video game dessert, in between the campaigns and trials of other games, and even other rhythm games, when they're starting to take their toll on you. More content is being planned by the developer, which is nice to hear, and in my opinion, it's the best approach to take this game. Give it some more ongoing support and variety, with new tracks and even some new original minigames, and overall just feature this cast with more and more and more memories until our taste buds give in. I think even if this game as a rhythm game doesn't have much stakes in its challenge or exciting highlights, it can at the very least be an everlasting fountain of consistently solid content, and I'd be pretty happy getting lost in more of it. Pastel Parade is a game about an unconditional, never-ending friendship, whose biggest problem is that there's simply not enough of it, and getting more of it will only be a good thing. If this friendship has made it this far with no conditions, why stop there?